These are the faces of shock. Utter shock at the realization that in this day and age, millions of girls in the world still undergo female genital mutilation. On this special episode of She Power, we chose to highlight the concerted efforts of different stakeholders trying to campaign for the termination of female genital mutilation in Kenya. I'm Linda Kroeger, and this is She Power.
I held down my daughter last night, spread her limbs across the forest, laid her out to rest, crushed berries across her mouth and gave her my knuckles to chew on. I gave my daughter to a boat last night, pressed prayers into her palms and told her to quiet her tears. Women like us can't afford to be weak, and I want different for my granddaughter. My daughter will curse my name in a foreign hospital where her limp, pregnant body will be inspected by a bone-lipped doctor who will ask, "What happened to this woman?" Tell him your mother took it. A tribe of women, the woodsmen, a rusted blade, the axe, folklore as religion. But tell him your mother meant well and promise me that you'll teach my granddaughter that there is no shame in wanting.
At least 125 million women and girls have been mutilated in Africa and the Middle East. Approximately 500,000 Europeans are victims of FGM, according to Amnesty International. 150,000 to 200,000 girls are at risk of female genital mutilation in the United States, according to the CDC. Out of the remaining millions, the largest concentration of girls exposed to FGM, majority of them are found in sub-Saharan Africa, and that includes Kenya.
Kabla utupe hadithi yako, ndio tuweze pia kuwapa amani na hope wasichana na wamama wengine.
Nilikuwa nasikia kuna mkutano hata kwa mahali naitwa Mauje. Sasa nilienda huko nikasikia wakiongea kuhusu yani kukeketwa wa mama. Sasa wakati nilisikia hivyo, mimi nilikuwa nimekeketwa vibaya. Sasa wakati nikasikia mafundisho hiyo, nikakaribia yeye tuongee na yeye sababu nilikuwa nimeteseka sana.
Mimi nilitairi. Kwa vile nilitairi, kabla tutairisha tuliwekwa nini thafai. Sasa thafai, kwa vile tuliwekwa thafai ati tusisikie uchungu tukitairishwa. Baada ya hiyo tukakaa, vile kinonda ilikuwa kwa ikapona. Hiyo kumbe hizo vitu hii kuisha hiyo nini ya thafai. Nilienda nikikuna saa mimi kunaga. Sasa kumbe ni hiyo nini hiyo kitu hiyo tairi ndio ilituletea hiyo shida. Kukuna saa yote ni kukuna. Sasa kuna siku yenye nilipata nini nilitoka na maji.
The Loreto sisters for the last 16 years have been vehemently campaigning against female genital mutilation.
Greetings to all our friends at Telva Magazine. I'm Sister Ephigenia Gashiri of the Loreto Sisters, Kenya. For the past 16 years, the Loreto Sisters and our collaborators have worked tirelessly in Kenyan villages, creating awareness about FGM and its consequences to the woman, the family, and the community. In the past few years, the Loreto Sisters have decided to build a center so that we can train opinion leaders from churches, government systems, from the communities all over Kenya, bring them and train them efficiently. So we have already built a hostel, but it's not yet complete. we need a solar system, a sewage system, water storage facilities. When the hostel is complete, we shall need a kitchen, a dining hall, and a lecture room for the facility to work and give at least basic seminars. That's why we are asking our friends to kindly assist us to complete building these basic facilities for the center. Now, when we have the center, we shall be able to train people and send them back to the villages with equipments translated in their languages so that they can help our people. We shall train people for alternative rite of passage, teachers. We shall train, we shall help traumatized victims of FGM and hopefully give a few children who are in danger of FGM to have some rescue place to stay. Now we are asking our friends to kindly help us to build these facilities. We may think that FGM is over, but the World Health Organization figures shocked us this year. The figures have gone higher. There are more than 200 million women survivors of FGM in the world. Some communities are just now coming up to the open and telling the world that they actually practice FGM. So we dare ask you to help us to at least assist in some measure to reduce these figures. Thank you.
They have since decided to take their planning to the next level. The Abundant Life Center seeks to serve as a center for training different stakeholders in the nation on the necessity of terminating FGM and replacing it with an alternative rite of passage. The sleeping rooms and quarters are already complete. We now need your help to complete the rest of the center. Join us and let us terminate female genital mutilation in Kenya.
First, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Ambassador and Mrs. Vincent O'Neill. A round of applause, please, to them. Second, we have Honorable Jabi Kilimo, of course, very known to us. A round of applause as well. Yes, and I'll be telling you more as more of them come in. But Honorable Jabi Kilimo as well is accompanied by Agnes Lili. Layli, yes, excellent.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to Loreto Missingari. We pray especially that this project may benefit many young women and their families. Thank you for coming to be with us. Thank you for the support for this worthwhile program. Karibuni, may God bless you.
I'd like to acknowledge also the PS of Public Service. We see you. Welcome. A round of applause for them, please. It's indeed a good night to have dignitaries join us for such a great cause. Allow me to call upon Ms. Sheila Ngatia of the Abundant Life Board. She's a board member and a planning committee member, and she has a statement on what has been going on. Karibu sana, Sheila.
This is a step in many other events that we'll have to see it to completion and to open it. And we're also hoping that you shall join us when we actually go on site to open it, to do the official opening, the official launch in Isinya. I think this is really, a very noble cause. We thank you that you're supporting the Loreto sisters, that you're being part of this dream. And, we hope that as we go along, we are able to call on you and you can continue to come and support the Abundant Life Project. The alumni who are here also, thank you. You must be our disciples. When Sister prayed, she said, today is the feast day of John the Baptist, and he was a messenger. I hope that as we leave here tonight, we can be messengers to say that we want to protect and promote the rights of our girls in Kenya, and that we believe there is an alternative method in which, girls can graduate, transition from one stage of life to another, and that we want to do this and support the Loreto sisters in this project. So on behalf of the board and the planning committee, I want to thank you and to welcome you this evening.
When we come back, we get an account from a survivor and anti-female genital mutilation activist. We also get an account from government stakeholders. Keep it She Power on WTV Kenya.
Sali, asante sana kwa kutukaribisha huku kwenyu Mauche, na ninaelewa kwamba wewe ulikataa mila na desturi za kutahiri wasichana, yani ukeketaji wa wasichana FGM. Labda ungetuambia venye uliweza kusimama imara na kusema hapana kwa wazazi wako na hata kwa community yako.
Kweli. Kwa huko kwetu nilikataa tangu nikisoma kwa shule. Juu hata nilikuwa nimefika wakati anasema wamefika rika ya wasichana kutahiriwa. Naam, nikaambia bana, sitahiriwi. Juu naona kwa mimi, naona masomo mbele. Na sioni maana yenye naenda lete huko. Haka nikajibii mama yangu, nitaenda lete nini huko? Hata wewe ulienda ukaleta nini? Faida gani yenye umepata? Sasa kasema kama wewe umekataa, mtu akikataa hakuna lazima. Sasa nikaambia kweli, mniwaje, juu mwili ni wangu. Mimi sikuwa natembea mzuri kwenda toilet kama watu wengine, au kwenda haja ndogo kama watu wengine. Ilikuwa shida hiyo. Sasa nikaingia hapa, tukakaa hapa, tukasikia Ana wamepatana na Mary. Meritinga. Sasa nikangojea Ana atokee huko Eldoret. Nikakuja eleza mimi nimepata njia nzuri yenye taweza saidiwa. Tukaenda mpaka town hapa Nakuru, tukakutana na Mary. Tukaendelea sasa kwenda huko Eldoret, tukasaidiwa. Sasa nikashukuru Bwana ni mema, ametenda mema.
Ningeambia watu wale bado wanakeketa wasichana na kuwatahiri, ningewaambia ndio waache, bado kuna watu
wanafanyia hao watoto.
Ndio
naambia yani ni kuumiza watoto, wanaumiza alafu watapatia shida baadaye. Alafu karibu sana anaharibia mtoto market.
Kabisa.
Mimi niko na furaha sana. Tumekuja hapa kusupport Sister Virginia sababu ya kazi yenye amefanya kule mashinani. Mimi naitwa Mary Tinga, na tangu tufanye hii kazi tumepata wamama wa fistula kutokana na mafundisho ya FGM. Vile Sister Virginia anakuja, anaenda pale ground, ako na facilitators wake, wakienda kufundisha, wanapata wamama wa fistula. Wanapeana jina yangu na namba yangu ya simu. Kutoka tuanze kuwapeleka, nimepeleka wamama 370 wa fistula, na the cause is FGM. Kila mahali ikienda facilitators wakienda kufundisha, tunapata wamama almost 5, 10, 4, 3. Na wapeleka Jamaa Mission Hospital, wengine na wapeleka Gynocare Eldoret. Wamama wanaumia sana sababu ya FGM. FGM imeleta shida nyingi sana ya fistula. Na tunamshukuru sister wetu Virginia kwa ile kazi amefanya na facilitators wake. Sisi wenyewe tulipitia FGM kwa hiyo miaka. Ile kitu ya uchungu, saa ya kukeketwa. Kwanza mumeona hiyo picha ya Dhafai. Hila. Ukweli, ukienda kukeketwa, hata ujui ni nini unaenda kufanyiwa. Lakini ikifika saa 9 ya usiku, unaambiwa ukae vizuri sana. Unapanua miguu yako, hiyo dhafai inawekwa, ati ndio usisikie uchungu. Kufika saa 11 ya asubuhi, mnaenda pale msituni. Mama na wembe yake ako tayari. Unaketi, hiyo unakatwa. Uchungu sana. Lakini mkitoka pale, mtapelekwa nyumba ya wamama. Hapo sasa ndio kazi utaenda kufanyiwa. Tukiwa pale, saa hiyo hauna amani. Unaketi chini, saa hiyo umelala, ukikojoa mkojo haitoki, lakini utaambiwa keti mzuri. Wale wamama ni walevi. Kaa mzuri na utakaa. Hiyo nyama yote inatolewa. Nduru hata ukipiga mara ngapi hawatasikia. Hapo ni ile uchungu ya kutosha. Ile kitu tu ningeomba kabisa, wale tunaenda tunapata pale wale wamama, ukweli hata wakituongelesha tunasikia, kwa maana mimi ni mmoja mwenye nimepitia kwa hiyo uchungu. Sasa tangu sister wetu Virginia aanze kufundisha ama kupeana facilitators wake, tumekumbana na wale wamefanyiwa ile kitendo yenye hata mimi mwenyewe nilifanyiwa. Mkisikia sister akilia, ni vile anaenda anapatana na wamama wengine kama mimi, wakipeana hiyo story, hata yeye mwenyewe analia. Kwa maana ni kitu yenye iko. Hata ninajua mheshimiwa wetu Lina Chebi Kilimo anajua ile kazi inafanywa huko mashinani. Lakini hiyo ndio kazi tumefanyiwa, na hatuwezi kutaka tena watoto wetu wapitie uchungu kama hiyo. Asanteni sana.
I'm Stephen Muragori, a facilitator with termination of FGM under Loreto Sisters. Fistula is a hell in a woman's life. We have interacted. It's through our seminars. When we do our business and then we explain about FGM and, fistula, and then we have these women saying, oh, I think I fall in that category. And then we send them to Mretinga. Since 2011, August, to date, 350 women. That is only where we have been able to be. A center like this should act as a resource center. Materials. Those who wish to do research, this is a center where we can have that kind of thing. A center like this will go a long way, being a nerve center, at least a nerve center of coordination, or maybe with support with what Honorable Lina Chebi is doing. It's be very, very important to save that girls. Every time we have this alternative rite of passage and we see the girls smiling, actually it gives us strength and hope to wake up tomorrow, go to the bush, get those ladies and those men and preach to them. Thank you so much.
I'm a medical doctor. I have worked in Sierra Leone. I have worked in Uganda. I've worked in Malawi. I'm a bit of an unusual diplomat. This is an infringement. This is an infringement of people's lives. This is a major threat to the dignity and human rights of people, of individuals, of the communities that they live in. And thank you to Sister Iphigenia, to all of the people here tonight who are speaking and who are acting in ways that are bringing about the change that the previous PS has spoken about, of declining the numbers of women who are suffering this indignity. And I can only say, please, please continue your work. Please use me as an ambassador in ways that you want. Please come back to me to do that. Because what you're doing is admirable, it's necessary, and it's advocating on behalf of so many women in this country who don't have a voice. So well done, and thank you for doing that.
I came to Parliament with two agendas. Julie, I just didn't go to Parliament. I didn't know about salary or nothing. I just had this burning thing that I could make a difference. My first agenda, of course, was peace in what you call the Kerio Valley. It used to be a valley of death, but I'm afraid it's almost turning back to that, but at least I wanted peace in the valley. And my second agenda was to make a law against FGM. And so I want to thank God that the shame that I used to suffer when I pass in front of my colleagues in Parliament and they'll tell me, how are you FGM? It didn't matter. In front of me were girls. In front of me are women I have seen die because of complications while giving birth. So on behalf of all the other girls who look forward to being married, we are counting on you to talk to the men, to talk to their boys, so that the voice of the home, why the 300 women get cut? Because the voice of the home has said. So we want the voice of the home to be saying, this is the direction.
Somehow seeing this video and listening to Mary is just so shocking, and it almost doesn't feel very real when you see it in paper, and when you're reading about it, it doesn't feel so touching. And just hearing about it, I am so horrified. So Lina, just know I'm your budget pusher number one. I'll be lending to Zainab. But I think coming from this meeting, I go away a crusader number one, a supporter number one, an advocate number one. And Sheila, when you have your board meetings, please call me. If you need extra help, call me. We will definitely support this cause.
Most of us as women stand here today because maybe of our fathers who are strong enough to say no to the cut, or other opportunities they created for us, plus our mothers. So let's involve the men, and let's include the men in this debate. As a government, we've put in various legislative measures towards eradication of FGM and other forms of sexual and gender-based violence. We have several laws, acts, policies. It's all good. But I think what is really giving us headaches is the implementation of these fantastic acts and laws that we have. And we find that there's a gap between what the government over here is wanting to achieve and what is truly happening on the ground. And this is the gap that we want to close, because having these rules over here and not being able to implement them on the ground means there is no impact for our women. I can tell you that for P.S. Leon and myself, once we got into this ministry 5 months ago, our goal is to ensure that whatever we do has a touch and feel impact for the women on the ground. And if they can't touch and feel what it is we are doing here in the capital, then really we are wasting time. And I think the Loreto sisters are about what we want to be about. Impact you can touch and feel. Impact that our women can relate to. So I thank you, Sister Eugenia, and your team here for the good things you are doing to ensure that our women actually feel and appreciate strong, impactful programs.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to be here with all of you and to see such a great turnout. I'm really honored to be here and really touched because of the nature of this event. I believe in transformation. I believe when you start something and you plant that seed, and you said, I think Sheila said this is like a mustard seed. When you plant that seed, things emerge and they grow. And so there's every opportunity for us to completely change the situation in this country. We are communicators. And one of the things we can do is communicate. So as everybody takes the messages to their sphere of influence, we will help, just as WTV has done to package videos, to share footage and share information. And I think the minute people see it, then they realize, because they hear anti-FGM, but they don't actually realize what it means. And so that is critical. So that's the first step, and we will do that. So we'll walk on this journey together.
Saving a girl from harmful practices such as beading and female genital mutilation ensures the future of a generation not yet conceived. The Loreto Anti-FGM campaign is one of the stakeholders determined to do this, and on behalf of all the women of Kenya, here at She Power, we celebrate them.